Hey there everybody, Jimmerding here with another fun little Valheim build today. Have you ever just sat back enjoying watching the enemies and fauna of Valheim fight each other and then been ambushed with a cheap shot from behind whilst your guard was down? Or maybe you want to fight things but in a much more controlled environment nearby or inside your base? Well then, this fight pit build is going to be right up your alley. I'll show the nighttime and daytime flyovers in just a sec, then keep watching for a step-by-step guide on how to build this, with a floor plan included too of course. If you enjoy it, please hit that like and subscribe button to show some support. This build was inspired by the fight pit from Game of Thrones where Brienne is forced to fight the bear. I've seen a few Mega Colosseum builds on YouTube already, which are amazing to look at, don't get me wrong, but Vikings would be much more likely to build a rough and ready arena like this than some grand stadium. As you saw then, I've built this next to my fortified settlement build I did in my last video. Be sure to check that out and any of my others if you haven't already. Shutting up now, as per my new routine, watch these nice fly-throughs and then stay tuned for the build guide. So, onto the guide. I got lucky with where I built my last base, as there is a nice grassy knoll about 100 feet away from it. In terms of a footprint, using the 2x2 stone floor pieces as a unit, the walled area is about 14x14, whilst the pit itself is about 10x10. Vikings weren't architectural geniuses, so it doesn't have to be a perfect circle, and that is the excuse I'm going to stick with. I got rid of any rocky obstacles in my way, then flopped the hoe out and got levelling. The fact I was on a hill helped a lot because the general shape of the area was already how I wanted it. I then positioned myself directly in the middle and dug down with about 10 swings or so, then just started spinning round and digging the pit out wider until I was left with this. I then levelled the bottom out flat so I was ready to build. Start by lining the bottom of the pit with 2x1 stone blocks, then use wooden wall pieces and shift click them so they're a few inches away from the inner edge of the stone blocks. Because the tops of these walls will be hidden by more of the build, you can overlap to your heart's content and really make sure there's none of the terrain visible. Because you don't want any cowardly combatants trying to climb out, put some of these spiked barriers down behind the wooden walls before you close the tops up with 2x2 stone floors. These spiked walls are buggers to place, so I stuck to only putting them on the flatter sides of the pit, not the jagged sides. With the lower section of the pit done, place wooden half walls on the outer rim with core wood horizontal logs lining them, then create a viewing platform around the edge of the pit as shown here. A simple half wall around the edge stops anybody you don't want to see torn apart from falling in the pit. This is where I wish I had made it more symmetrical, as I originally tried using the X-shaped wall pieces as a fence, and it did look cool as hell, but had a lot of gaps in, so I went with the normal half walls. You'll see me now start the Jarl's viewing platform, which is a bit fancier with thrones and has a shelter over it as opposed to the other commoner ones I make with standard benches and no roofs. With the benches done, I start to detail the build with some nice paved stone both inside and out. I leave the outermost edge of the area a little bit muddy still, where I'll eventually wall off with palisades. Leaving little patches of dirt here and there helps to break up the monotony of just having paved over the entire area. I now add more detail such as a little cooking area so the crowds don't go hungry, as well as putting blue and red flags up either end of the pit and finishing off the Jarl's viewing platform. I thought another cool little touch would be to make a weapon rack where fighters can choose their weapons. I put some torches up off camera and hang a couple braziers off of core wood poles to act like medieval street lights, and the build was complete. I really hope you like this video and it at least gives you some ideas for your own arenas of death. If it did, please one bomb that like button with your stag breakers and subscribe to me so you don't miss any future builds. This has been Jimmerding. Have a good one, people.